Another one? What's with these guys?
Hello, everyone, and of course, welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy, Ivorian Spice, and we're back at it again with the catch up. Another week for Manchester United fan. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. UK time. And of course, today is a different episode because, of course, we're not coming back from last week because last week we suffered some humiliating defeats last time we spoke, but this time we have some victories. Of course, midweek victory, and then the Manchester derby. Manchester is red as we speak after yesterday's derby win. A delightful result for us Manchester United fans who went into that game thinking we was never going to win this game. Even though Manchester City are crap or shit, or Manchester City, as I say, Manchester United, if it's going to be a team that Man City is going to win to get themselves back into shape, it's going to be Manchester United. But little behold, he didn't know that Manchester United was going to give us a surprise. A delightful Sunday. Big up to the lads, big up to the people as well that turned up and watched that match as well. Those who tuned in, it was one hell of a match because for the first half, I said it earlier on, it was poor. It was poor, but eventually it fell to our side. It fell kindly to us. We're fortunate. Big up Ruben Amorim for what he's done as well to set up and organize the team. As always, make sure you guys subscribe, smash that like button, and share across all social media platforms. Keep your questions Manchester United related as well. Watch the match reaction that was uploaded yesterday as well. Become a member of Red United TV by clicking on that membership button. Let me get straight into it because the man will be joining us. But of course, we already got Uche here as well. Big up, Uche. Uche, let me just bring you in properly.
Okay.
Manchester United, of course. But before we even get started, man, big up to you. Welcome to the channel. How you
It's
been?
good to be here, honestly. I'm like, wow. I'm here live on Red United TV, so it's good to be here. And I'm feeling, let's say, this is a different or I'm coming here because I feel energetic, I feel happy, and it's good to have a good Monday morning down now in the evening, having a wonderful weekend. So I'm happy all the way. I'm going to enjoy the show. Trust me.
Yes, big up to you as well, man. Like I said earlier on, Manchester United getting that victory against Manchester City. Manchester is red. Delightful performance from Ahmed Diallo. We've got a lot to talk about. We have, of course, Harry Maguire, who speaks on his contract situation. Investigation that's going on inside
Yeah.
Manchester United regarding the links as well, guys. So make sure you guys sit back as we discuss the match. Like I said before, the man will be joining us in a few minutes, so they always arrive a bit late. But like I said before, lateness is greatness. Let's get straight into it because It is Manchester City 1, Manchester United 2. Manchester United collecting 3 points against Manchester City. Manchester's red. Let's get straight into the overall thoughts. Of course, Uche, you are the guest. Let me get your overall thoughts on the game against Manchester City, man. 2-1 to United.
Yes, it's a 2-1 game. Actually, the game didn't turn out how I expected it. Everybody, including myself, knows that City is not coming out of the game with the 3 points. It was an obvious, thing everybody could see. Having 11 games with just one win, so it's obvious that they don't have the mental capability to match United at that point. And it was a good thing that we had that win against Epizen before this, because coming back from a back-to-back losses from Arsenal that we had, and then we have Nottingham Forest. So it was a good thing that we went into the European match with a win, and now back again with a win. So it was a good motivation. But City on the other side lost a game. Coming into this game, come on, I don't see that happening. The team morale is absolutely down. One thing I not know for sure is when a team is winning, it's not because they are too good. It's not because maybe they are having a wonderful connection. No, one thing actually stood out, and that is if you have the mentality that you can never lose. If you have that back of your mind, that is what win games. That is why it's always good when you win game, you become invisible, and that way you know that anytime you're going on the pitch, you're going to win. But right now, City don't have it. They have lost it, and that is where we actually played right into it. I was really kind of devastated that the ball didn't go into much goal, because we were giving them some kind of respect because of old times. But right now, they don't have the morale to match United. So it was a good game in general, because we came out with a win. But all round, I didn't enjoy the game. I didn't enjoy the attack, because we were meant to bring so much attack to them, because we had advantage with them, with our team spirit over them, which is why even when we scored the other goal, it was easy to get another one, because their team morale is low. Just like Mayweather would say, the reason why I don't lose is not because I'm too good, because I've never lost before. So I don't know what it feels like to lose. So anytime he's going to the ring, he's going to lose. But you that used to losing, any small thing, oh my, this is it. And that's what came to play. You saw what Pep did. He almost fainted when he saw that when he saw the penalty, because that way you know it was over. Once that goal comes, and that one is gonna come. So it was a good ups for us, and we took the advantage of the low spirited City. So that's just what I have to say for now. But we played really below bar as expected. Yeah.
So we'll just say we played really below bad. It's been a bad match. Before I get to you, Jerome, big up to Jerome as well. Just joining. We just get to the comments. Big up, Jesse Optana says big up as well. Saying that Ahmed the Ivorian Messi. Ahmed's had a spectacular game yesterday. Jesse Optana says give him everything he wants. Bun Rashford and Ganacho. Get Ahmed that number 10 shirt. Big up, Jesse Optana. Jesse also said dropping Rashi and Garnacho was risky as they do perform on big games. Plus, I want him to do it to others, not just scapegoat them too, because Diallo's been crap, but from the same country, and he's ain't done that to him. Also, not Garnacho, bro, but what game has he performed? And Gemini also says we done their dance, rude boy. And of course, last but not least, you man believe that we can go to Tottenham and knock these lot out. We'll speak about that later on as well. Jerome, Manchester United, Manchester's red. Ahmed Diallo, a spectacular performance from him. You know, he was the man that made it all happen. And your overall thoughts on that game against Manchester City, sorry.
Well, first of all, also I didn't watch the full game because I was like, Christmas, birthdays, and all that. We're in that kind of season now. But yeah, seeing the result, it was just an amazing feeling, because I did not expect us to go to City, play and have 50-50 virtually of possession at their ground, and not really look like conceding a lot of chances. So that was pleasing to see. So when I caught up on the highlights, I got a bit more insight into how the pattern of the game went. And when we went to goal down, it didn't look like we were getting panned. It just looked like it was one of those just one-off sort of situations where it was a deflected cross from KDB, and then obviously we've got our issues in our set piece defending that we need to work on in the long term. But obviously, Guardiola headed it in. I think he out-jumped Diallo, from what I remember. And it just looked like one of those situations where we're going to get undone and lose by a set piece goal like we did against Arsenal a week or so ago. But obviously, as I was hearing like the updates and stuff while I was out, it didn't look like we was getting pammed at all. So I was just kind of ended back on thinking, let's try and at least get a draw, get away with a draw, because that would be a good result for us, considering that our record there over the last few years has been abysmal. I think we conceded like 13 goals in the last 3 visits there. So for it to only be 1-0 and City not really creating much, the game was there for the taking, really.
Yeah.
And then obviously in the second half, we upped the ante slightly, and Ahmad came into the game a lot more in terms of his influence, and we started creating chances. I think Ahmad had a header that he just missed. I think he got saved, and then Bruno got put through, clean through by Hoyland, and you expected Bruno to put it in the back of the net, but it was woefully wide, and then you're just thinking, no, it's going to be one of those games. And then we just never gave up. We still pressed. We still hunted them down. Ahmad was leading by example. And then obviously it was a missed pass by one of the City players, a missed back pass to the goalkeeper. Ahmad anticipated it and then won us a penalty. And then in fairness to Bruno, he did take that spot kick calmly, sent the keeper the wrong way to make up for his glaring miss a few moments earlier. And then you're just thinking, right, that we're heading towards the 90th minute. Yeah, let's get away with a draw and be done with, say, job done. But we wasn't done yet. And you could see that City were kind of like lacking in confidence. And even when they were 1-0 up, it didn't look like they were trying to go for that second goal. It looked like they just wanted to just see the game out and just be like, yeah, we won the derby and we moved. But yeah, obviously we had other ideas. So to see that pass of Martinez through to Ahmad, and the way he just went past the keeper and calmly slotted it in from a very tight angle as well. It was just like that's a mad adrenaline rush. You just like you just brought it back to those Fergie days, like them late goals where we just throw the kitchen sink at teams and then just somehow get a victory. And despite us looking like we were going to lose the game, so it did bring back some good memories. And all in all, we deserved to win that game. Like I said, we had virtually 50% possession. Not much teams in Europe come to the Etihad and have that amount of possession. We had higher expected goals. We more or less controlled the game. The manager made a big call in putting Rashford and Garnacho out of the team and made a big step, because, as I said in the group chat, if we had lost that game, the knives would have been out. They would have been like, oh, why was Garnacho and Rashford our 2 main players? Why were they left out? It was a poor decision, but it's one of his best decisions now. And now that sets a good example for the rest of the squad that nobody's safe and everyone needs to knuckle down and put the effort in training, on the pitch, follow instructions, and all the rest of it. I'm just glad that now we've seen that we've got a proper manager that knows how to put a system in place and knows what he wants from his players and expects high standards. So hopefully now from this result, we can move forward with that now and get some consistency. Obviously, we've still got a lot of stuff to work on. It's not perfect by any stretch. We still need to work on our attacking play. We need to work on defending set pieces. But we're passing the ball a lot better now and keeping hold of it a lot better, despite that some few players that still can't do that. So yeah, Amorim is building something slowly but surely. He's going to need patience. But yeah, it's just pleasing to see, because I guarantee not much people expected us to win at the Etihad, and everyone was just going to start saying Amorim out if we lost. So I'm just happy, delighted. It wrapped up a nice weekend, eventful weekend, and yeah, I can't complain. We couldn't have finished any better than that, really.
Yes, absolutely, man. One thing that I noted down that you highlighted, said the passing is better. Looks like we're building something, especially against Manchester City. It's those two games against Arsenal and Manchester City, where you saw there was a bit of control in Manchester United's football. in terms of going forward or in terms of defense. We just didn't look like he was really on the threat. You know, we had control in the game, and it's great to see that at times during the game, Manchester United was sitting in the half of Manchester City where they're the one that was underneath the cushion on the back foot. It's my overall thought in that game, I have to say, delighted for the result. But during the whole 45 minutes, the first half, we was terrible. It was a terrible game for the neutrals. It was a terrible game for us in terms of us going forward. I wrote down we was different going forward because up front, Spanish couldn't offer anything, couldn't cause a threat towards Manchester City's goal. Edison had an easy 45 minutes. And then defensively, set piece wise, it's haunting us again. I don't know what's going on at Manchester United. We have two set piece takers at the moment. The one that Ten Hag had and the one that came with Amorim.
Yeah.
Needs to sort this stuff out because it's causing a problem. We're getting post-traumatic stress disorder from the Arsenal game to the game after that and to this game as well, man. They need to do better. But the second half, after Manchester United conceded, we thought to ourselves, yeah, it could be one of those games. Yeah, people will probably dissing Amorim saying, oh, yeah, another L, another defeat. But it didn't turn out like that. Even though the first 20 minutes of the second half, again, it was poor. The last 10 minutes was where everything came to light. I think those changes that he made, bringing on Xerxes, and as well, who else did he bring on?
Anthony,
Lenny Euro and Anthony. Made a difference. Of course, Diallo, who continued to persevere in that game because he was the only shining light in that whole entire game from our attacking players out in that game, and he continued to persevere to win that penalty. And then to score the winning goal as well, sweet. It was absolutely sweet and delightful. Overall, I thought that we did well for the result. But a lot, like you said, Jerome said, there's a lot to work on. There's a lot to build on. But it's getting there. You know, if we get another win in the next game against Bournemouth, all of a sudden it doesn't look that bad. Those run-off fixtures, it's typical. New manager starts, a little defeats there, you suffer, and then you start seeing the light as matches go on and on. Let's stop talking about the overall game, but let's move on to what the manager himself said. I've got some quotes. The manager, when he spoke about how pleased he was when Ruben Amorim with the way the team defended, particularly Harry Maguire and Manuel Ugarte, which we'll talk about Maguire and Ugarte. He said that Harry Maguire is perfect when you play with the three defenders. I think in the middle he's perfect. Then the way that a striker that they have, Erling Haaland, with the long balls, you need to be really strong. And so was the perfect for him. Not just Harry, all the guys defended really well. They were really focused on that. It's key to play better. I think he did a great job, and also his teammates did a great job. When we all saw Harry Maguire on the starting lineup, I know we was all going ballistic and crazy. I thought, yeah, the problem is there, Harry Maguire. But Harry Maguire had a fantastic game, especially the one-on-one duels against Erling Haaland and Ugarte as well. A player that wasn't spoken about. Of course, Ahmed will draw and get all the headlines, but Ugarte, sensational, kept on running. Bruno highlighted him after the game and spoke of him as well. Guys, thoughts on Harry Maguire, thoughts on Ugarte's performance against Manchester City?
Yeah, with Maguire, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that he played so well. Yeah, he deserves the credit because a lot of people are saying that he should have left 2 years ago and he's just hanging around the club like a bad smell. But now it looks like he's fighting for his contract extension, so I think we're going to discuss later. And yeah, I didn't got any complaints, and I think he's showing that he's comfortable playing in Amorim's system. The three at the back, he seems at home there. He's even helping out Martinez as well. And like he said, he was winning the duels with Haaland, who didn't do anything in the entire game. I don't remember him having a shot, even though I watched the highlights. There's no shots or nothing. Literally, this is meant to be the best striker in the world. Didn't see nothing. He was like, he might as well have been Casper. So you got to give Maguire a great credit there. And with Ugarte, like, I can't even lie to you, I got to apologise on Ugarte because I think Erik ten Hag just made him look like a total scrub. Like, I don't know what ETH was doing with him, but he was hardly starting him, and he just it's almost like there was no coaching or no instruction. He just told Ugarte just to get on the pitch and just do whatever. And you could tell now, looking back at it now, that wasn't ETH's signing. Because obviously Amorim, definitely wasn't his signing. At first I thought, ETH had the final say, but that wasn't his signing. You can tell clearly now that Amorim, because he's worked with Ugarte before, he knows his strengths and he knows his weaknesses. He knows how to utilize him and utilize his strengths on the pitch. And he just looked rock solid. He just looks like he's got energy. He's tenacious. He keeps things simple. Doesn't do anything too extravagant, and he just gives our midfield confidence. And for once now, I can say that it doesn't feel like our midfield's getting overrun now, because you look like we've got some stability and strength in midfield now from a defensive standpoint. But under ETH, he was still getting run through. And we were just thinking we spent, 50, 60 mil on this guy from PSG, and it looked like we just bought a dud. But we haven't. And that just shows you just need to have a coach that knows how to coach players and put them in positions where they can excel in. And Amorim's showing us that. So, yeah, man, shout out to Ugarte, man. But, great signing so far.
Jay, what about you, man? Was you impressed with Ugarte's performance and of course Maguire himself? Was you even surprised? Was you in doubt like I was when I saw Maguire in the starting lineup? When you were thinking, well, where's Lenny Euro?
I would say, to be honest, right now I always prefer Maguire over Yanero, honestly. And since 2023, that's last year, since he stayed back after without him going over to West Ham, he has actually improved massively before he got injured. Yes, there's sometimes you have that uncertainty of him going. Sometimes he has those split indecision, either to pass the ball this way or which way to run to. You have those kind of things, or he's slow to run. Because one thing I know about Maguire is if you go on a run with him, you beat him. So if he misses his timing, that's over. So that's what's always good to actually get his timing, or he brings you down. I didn't have any doubt with him since he came back. He actually shone going to West Ham, battling with injury. But the truth, let's just be honest. Yes, he having some shitty time, very very bad bad season so far. But no one is in that defense backline that is ahead of Maguire. No one. Yes, we can talk about Martinez. Martinez has his on and off. I believe you already know the last match and before it was really awful. Yeah, we saw that. Now that means anytime Martinez is awful, is the defense collapses. Yes, Martinez is outstanding, but when you look about people who has that commanding, who has that leadership, Maguire is up there. So regardless how we put it, the only way I see Maguire not getting a contract is if he decides not to stay, or let's say, man, I want to leave. But in all due respect, I know some people like Erik Ten Hag will actually sell the players just like they did to the gear like that. But he deserves to have a contract, regardless of having some long period of spell of inconsistency. But he has actually picked up, and he's one of the best defenders we have currently. And apart from us for Ugarte, I would say he is the building block right now to that with very very instrumental. Even that goal where he was actually instrumental in the build up play of that goal that Martinez lumped over to Ahmad to score. So he's actually part of he's the really source in that midfield, because if you look at it before they put in a Maino to come and help out, it was actually basically him and Mazraoui in that midfield holding it very, very strong alongside while giving Bruno the flair to move around. Now aiding in the front. Remember, because Mount is out of the game, that makes Bruno to move a little bit more further into the game. And now Maino coming into the midfield with Ugarte stabilizing it a little bit inside the midfield area. You understand that he himself is. Before I was really skeptical with him and Casemiro. Yes, get me wrong. I know Casemiro seems to be finished, but he has actually said that he is here to stay to actually hold the firm of that position right now in the team. So Ugarte is the man that I believe we are even yet to see the best of him, because right now a lot of players are struggling with positioning. Where do you go? Because one thing about this defense of this formation of Ruben is, if you look at this, when we are defending, those two comes back, it becomes a five man defense. So the midfield now have to drop inside, making it that's why you see that we are always If you come into the midfield, he's choked up when you come back. Anytime you see those 3 defenders, it doesn't mean we are even a quarter 5 defenders. That is why if you look at the City aspect, it's going to be different because they only have only 3 natural defenders in that game. So I was really expecting more from them. But good kudos to Ugarte for actually holding the midfield, making it very impossible for them to penetrate easily and just walk through like the way they normally give to Haaland and just goes through. But that didn't happen. So that means he actually made it more difficult for you to have direct and clean access to the defenders. So that really gives a little bridge, and that's why it was even a lucky one for them to score the goal. But left for me, that goal doesn't count because it was a deflection and a whole lot of things happen. Yeah, things like this happen. But apart from that, I'll tell you, apart from over the corner kicks again that we actually had, the spot kicks affecting us, we are really solid with the defense, especially with Ugarte right there and those 5 men defenders when they return, when you're defending, it's actually a solid defense with Manuel Ugarte. I'll say we are yet to see more of him. Trust me.
Yes. So Ugarte solid, Maguire so solid, surprisingly as well. Let's talk about Amad Diallo. The manager was questioned after the game. He talked about the character of the players and the standards that they need to reach. In Ahmed, do you see someone who is perfect example for that at the moment? Ruben Amorim says, I don't want to talk about just Ahmed. A lot of the players here are improving and are fighting and are working really hard and suffering. Suffering is a word that he's been saying a lot of times. Suffering is part of trying to be the best in the world, guys. I hope these Manchester United players are listening. Suffer. You have to suffer to be the best. That is a good thing when you suffer for something. See, listen, and Ahmed, of course, is in a great moment, but I will say it again. Eric Ten Hag brought Ahmed to the first team. Ruben Fernandes did a great job, and we continue with a good moment of Ahmed. Ahmed did a great job, but now let's be careful with Ahmed. Don't do the same mistake that we did in the past with younger guys, and let's push him down a little bit. Praise him, but the next game is a new story. He must continue to work on. And Amad Diallo, guys, a player that's been treated badly by Eric Ten Hag. A guy that you can say he's had his trials and tribulations, went on loan to Sunderland, to Rangers as well, came back, got injured, and he was seen second fiddle to someone like Anthony. But now he's getting opportunities at the start of the season when he was the best player in pre-season. And then all of a sudden got dropped. One player of the season for Manchester United, and then got dropped again. But under Ruben, he's shining, guys. Fantastic performance, first of all, from Amad Diallo. That's my guy. To see an Ivorian player doing well for Manchester United is pleasing. But guys, let's talk Amad Diallo, man. The star boy, the future king, the young king of Manchester United. Let's talk about him. Thoughts on the game. Thoughts on his performance. And overall, on Ahmed as well.
Yeah, Ahmed, he's literally our star player now. He's growing to be like one of our best performers. And I know there's been a lot of talk about giving him the number 10 shirt. I know that's been set for the run. Yeah. I think they need to do that ASAP. Like, take that shirt off Rashford.
I wouldn't give it to him as well. You know what, Jerome? We're so quick to give people the number 11 shirt and the number 10 shirt. He still has to work for it.
I know what you mean. He's still got to work for it. But if we're gonna give
it off of Rashford,
if we're not gonna give it to Ahmed, then don't give it to anyone right now. Well, basically, essentially, the number 10 and number 7 shirts need to be retired for the foreseeable because like it's a shambles at the moment. But yeah, Ahmed, he's a great example of like never give up on your dreams because this guy's been through it all. Like you said, he's been on loan to Sunderland, to Rangers, he's come back, he's not been getting a sniff. For some reason, ETH didn't fancy him, and you're thinking, people were saying like last year, Ahmed might as well just try and leave because he ain't getting no chances. Yeah. He was our best performer in pre-season, came in, as soon as we had a couple of defeats, for some reason, he was the first person to be taken out of the team, and he wasn't even our worst performer. And you're just thinking, like, where do we go from here? And now, since the ETH is gone, he's been given a new lease of life now, and it's like it's a full reset where he can just like show the world what he's capable of doing. And in that game, he was clearly the best attacking player on the pitch. And it wasn't even just his attacking play; it was his work rate and his pressing as well that impressed. And if we had 10 other Ahmeds in our team, in terms of work rate and desire, well, we'll definitely be challenging for the title. basically set the standards on how you need to be playing week in week out for Man United. So I'm just so happy for him, and the fact that he's still young. I think he's only 22.
21.
21. See, so he's got plenty of years to even get better. So it's exciting times for him. But one thing I must mention is that his contract runs out in the summer. So United need to sort out that contract extension as soon as possible, because that would be a travesty if he left for free.
I hope he's not doing what Marcus Rashford is doing, trying to con us for a new contract and then start down tooling. Before I get to you, Che, Gary Neville spoke on Ahmed Diallo after the match. So he said for Manchester United winning, it was just one man. There was a couple of other decent performances. I thought actually Maguire, Martinez did quite well at the back three. They was quite solid, but there was nothing else in front of them other than Ahmed Diallo. I called it in the first half. He was the player we featured before the game. He's the only player who is playing with anything like freedom and energy, enthusiasm, tenacity, and the belief that represents what you would expect in a Premier League football player playing for this club. The rest of them really are struggling confidence-wise and quality-wise. The club is struggling on and off the pitch at the moment in time. A lot of people hide behind and the excuses, but still play football like he's a kid. Neville also added that he's never stopped thinking of football. It's like he's playing on the street. Wayne Rooney was the exact same. They are street football players. They believe they should get in and beat the man and attack the man and take the ball and take risk. And he did all the way through the game, you know. He set up the penalty through the hard work, pressing and closing down. And obviously the winner will live with him forever. It's a magical moment for him. It really is. Muche, your thoughts on Ahmed Diallo's progress, the game against Manchester City as well?
Okay, so just picking up from where you start from in regards to what Never said, I remember when he scored, what he said in the commentary there was, he is the only player, the only Manchester United player playing like a Manchester United player. You know what it means? That means he's the only person that is playing like a Manchester United player. So the word speaks and his action speaks for himself. And like I told you earlier time when we spoke, the only issue I had with Ahmad is earlier was his physicality. I was thinking that he'll get bullied every single time because of his physique, but countless time he has actually risen above that. I would say he's actually the bully right here because he bullies defenders. Even in the game, you would think that you just get the ball to him. You see him, he'll take the ball off you, and he's quick with the ball, and that gives an advantage. And in the game, the reason why we keep saying Ahmad, because we put ourselves in that situation. I know their matches has consequences. In as much as we know that Ruben is trying to get in and put in discipline in the team, leaving Rashford and Garnacho out of the game. That also affects our game as well. So I know at times like this, even though this is something that we believe that Ten Hag was doing, and also sometimes you need to lay down these things out. If you notice, immediately Mount was out of the game, that wing was totally dead. That wing was absolutely dead. Nothing was happening there. Ahmad even scoring have to run through the other side. Imagine if that game had Garnacho and Ahmad. Let's be honest. If Garnacho has started that game alongside with Ahmad, we'll be more little than we are. We'll be better, way better than we are. But I understand that sometimes you need to put in some stability, put in some discipline, put in some your words to be strong. I get that, but let's move past that because we need these guys. I can talk about Rashford. Yes, his body language is for me, his body language is the problem, and alongside with other things. But Ahmad is being talked about because he is the only one in there. You have Ahmad, you have Hoyland, but fine. Hoyland most is being marked out of the game. He's the only striker, and no one else is actually there who is quick to actually run into spaces apart from Ahmad. So there is no question that you only have to see Ahmad at the end of the game because we give him those privileges to have a free role and run through all those spaces. But yet he actually worked to it. He has shown that he deserves a spot as the first team player. He has already shown that he has the courage. He has the commitment, even the never say never attitude until the last minute. I saw him looking at the goal, waiting for it to enter. That was, with me, we're like looking, is it going to enter? Is it going to enter? And it definitely delivered inside the back of the net. And that was the pick of the moment. So, in as much as we know Ahmad is the guy, he has shown that he's the guy that can actually lead. He's the guy that actually showed that when you call up, put him 100 times, he'll perform 100 times. Since he actually joined 5 games, he have had 5 involvements in goals. So that's a huge thing. And overall, even before he came, he has been consistent for the past few matches. Actually involved in more than close to 6 right now. Should be like around 7 goal and assist contribution. So this is quite an impressive start for a young lad like this, who is still young, just 21. So, in as much as we don't want what happened to Garnacho to happen to him, whereby we give the whole weight of the shoulder of the team, put it onto one man, is too heavy. You can't do that alone. So the same thing is happening with Garnacho. So we need to split these responsibilities between these two folks. And with them, and what is actually happening, the more they develop, I also think that it's also ideal for them to also still cultivate the culture of delivering the ball to Hoyland to score is very important, because that's one of the things actually affecting us. And if not in the last match, he actually tried to, instead of passing the ball, it gets into your head. So this also brings me that Garnacho is just living in the moment. The same way Ahmad is now living in the moment. Imagine if he still continues to drive with this confidence and still losing the ball, the confidence start going down. So for you to be a good player, you have to be selfish. So in as much as sometimes selfish players don't get it right, but it doesn't work every single time. But those selfish games are what makes you extraordinary in games. And in as much as we are praising him to be really good, but sometimes need to lower it a little bit and become a team player. Yes, he's a hero today. Doesn't mean tomorrow you have to go on and on, because I've seen this happening time and time again with young stars. I've seen it with Greenwood. I've seen it with Rashford. I've seen it with Garnacho. I'm now seeing it with Ahmad. He's a consistent thing that once they pick form, they turn blind eye to everybody and they go for glory every single time. And that needs to be nipped also in this time that is actually picking in the team. So I would say it's a kudos to him. He actually done so well for the team, being our benchmark, being our stronghold since Garnacho is struggling with confidence. So right now he's the man, and with him now, with Garnacho back in the team, which I know is going to happen, and also with Hoyland, then I know we have an attacking force. Regardless about you think that they can't do it because of maybe they're not good with the height, because one thing that you notice is the more you have this attacking midfielders that are not good with the ball in the air, is also it determines the kind of play that will be playing in the opposition box, because we don't have the guys in the heights. If you notice, we barely score balls with the height. It was a lucky one that he tried to knock the ball in the last game. But if notice, we don't have those kind of goals, because most of our players don't have the height to compete and contest for area ball. So it also needs to be put into consideration to be fluid. And also in the next transfer, we also put that into consideration, having fluid of players who have the height to actually become a threat in the final third of the game of the opposition box. So I would say it's a good game for Ahmad. Consistency is what we need, and that's all we hope for moving forward.
Big up my boy Ahmed as well, man. Big up to, of course, Kira that says I said that we would beat those heathens. Glory, glory, Man United. Yes, Kira was there with me on the watch along as well. Enjoying that moment, enjoying that goal. But big up to everyone that's tuning in. Smash that like button and share across the social media platform as we move on to the next segment of the show. Of course, we talk about the main title, Manchester United launch investigation. As you know, 24 hours before that game, for those who didn't know, the team's starting lineup got leaked. And it was the exact team that was leaked that actually showed in the actual game. And of course, they spoke to the manager. Manager threw his thoughts on him. People were saying it potentially could be Marcus Rashford. It could potentially be Alejandro Garnacho, because, of course, that very next morning, them two players were dropped. The manager was saying that he wasn't feeling their vibe in terms of the way they were training and the way they were talking as well. Like, he said quite a few things. In fact, I told the guys in the group chat, I thought he was Kendrick Lamar. He basically said that, oh, I hate the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you train, as well the way you
He definitely listens to Kendrick.
Yeah, he definitely. Amorim, are you listening to Kendrick Lamar? Are you dissing these two like that? No, honestly, the way he said it is like that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, he picks on everything. He watches everything about a football player. So you guys, whatever you did, and I think maybe it potentially could be because of that, because of course Garnacho was questioned, and also Amorim was questioned, but Ruben Amorim believes that genuinely it wasn't them two, but which leads to Marcus Rashford as well, because no news is coming out of that current situation. But there's been some sort of investigation, although Ruben Amorim said that there will be no investigation. But this morning came out on the news as well that there has been some sort of investigation being carried out. So let's find out the leaks. And this never stops. Manchester United, there's always been leaks. If it's not Jesse Lingard, if it's not Marcus Rashford, it's Alejandro Garnacho, it's someone else. Like, what is going on at this club, man? And who do you think it is as well? That's the question. That is the debate. Who is the leak? Is it Marcus Rashford? Is it Alejandro Garnacho? Or is it someone else? Let's open this debate, guys, and let's get straight into it, man. I'm gonna throw the light towards you, Jerome, to start this off, man.
Yes, this is an interesting one because logically you would think that the person doing the leaking is the person that's not playing or doesn't start regularly. So that needed to be either, in my eyes, Rashford, Garnacho, or potentially Anthony. But I just can't envision it being Anthony because he hasn't been playing for a while, to be fair. Even under ETH, he weren't playing. If you wanted me to guess or put a bet on, I would think it's Garnacho that's leaking it.
Why is that?
The reason why I think it is because of his arrogance and the way he carries himself. His brother talks a lot on social media in support of him as well. And I reckon it might have been Garnacho that leaked it directly, but he would have been talking to family members such as his brother, who obviously went and leaked it out. Because if you're going to leak out if you leak out the team sheet and knowing that you're playing, what would be the purpose of you leaking it out? The only reason why you would leak it out is because you're not playing, or you've been told that you're not playing. It kind of links into why I think that Amorim took Garnacho and Rashford out of the squad altogether. Obviously, he's got to tell the media that's because of performances, training, the way they dress, and all that sort of stuff. But I think that's just a cover up. I think obviously they mean performing anyway, so he could use it as a convenient cover up. But I reckon it's because out of the two, one of them has been leaking the team sheet. And if you ask me to pick, I'll probably sway towards Garnacho, particularly because he's quite young, a bit naive, still inexperienced, and I think Rashford, it will kind of be silly of him to leak it. He's 27 years old. He's been at the club for what? He's been in the first team for over 9 years. Yeah. You would think it would be a bit stupid of him to start leaking.
I think he's the oldest in the club.
Yeah, he's one of the senior players now.
Yeah, he is. He is the highest cap in the team currently.
Yeah, so for him to do that, someone that's one of the highest paid players in the team also, it wouldn't make sense. So for me, it kind of leads to Garnacho. Obviously, at this point, it's still speculation. But Garnacho's been playing better than Rashford lately, even though they've all been playing poorly. So for him to be out of the team, I just think that it's Garnacho, to be honest. So, but I hope we do find that. But I don't think they'll reveal it, because if they reveal it, then their career is done. It's like don't even show your face on social media. Like just
I genuinely think it's Marcus Rashford, man. Yeah. I genuinely think it's Rashford. Do you know why? Because of course the guy's up for sale. You know, the club has made it very clear based on his lifestyle situation. So he's making wrong decisions based on his lifestyle. So he could be swayed. And of course, his brother's there. His brother always backs. You talk about brothers. Rashford brother does the most as well. You know, he speaks on his brother, gets his 2 cents into it. He could have been encouraging him because, of course, Rashford found out that he probably wasn't playing the night before and thought, you know what? Yeah, I've had enough of this. I can't deal with this anymore. Yeah, let me just press send and just leak it out. And I believe he's been rumored to have done it before. The PR and all that kind of stuff with Rashford. I just think he's not in the best place at the moment for Manchester United that could make him push to actually leak out the first team just to ensure that he leaves the club as well. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but Uche, I want to know what you think.
If you ask me about this, I don't think this is an intentional leak. It's not. And with the way with what Ruben says, if I could read it with it in his own word, he was like to saying that he can't even say he acknowledged the issue, stating that while he's challenging to completely prevent such leaks due to the number of individuals involved. So the reason I'm saying this is there's a whole lot of people that are having access to this information. A whole lot of people. And this, I believe, has been a case of everybody always knew who is on the list. But for some reasons, a whole lot of people came to now know. Do you understand what I mean? It's like this is a news. The squad is out. Everybody has access to it. Everybody has access to it. Your family members can, let's say, they have access to it because Garnacho also, his brother was questioned. Yes, he denied it. So for it to reach to you, be questioned, that means you saw it, but you're saying that you know the source of the lake. Do you understand? So that means a whole lot of people are seeing this information, but they're not making it public. For example, you might be playing in a team. I'm your friend, or find a way, third party, we're able to privilege to have access to this document before it gets out. It just with it in-house. Nobody needs to know. Do you understand? It's in-house. Everybody doesn't need to know. It happens all the time. A lot of this thing passes to a lot of people know, but it's in-house. It's still in-house. All right? But something as for some reasons it went out of hand. Maybe someone mistakenly seen it, and you know how it works. Replay effects, somebody posts, so it happens like that. Maybe just this is not the first time, and I'll tell you the truth, it's not gonna be the last time. Because every time it's gonna be always be getting leaked because people have access to this information. They know it. When you say leak, it's not as if it's something that is hidden. Everybody have access. All the whole team players, to me, are suspects. Come on. You players who can actually because they have loud brothers a little bit who are actually involved in the game because of the love of the game.
Yeah, tell their brothers to shut the fuck up as well. Because
exactly.
Stop getting involved in
That's
Manchester United business.
If they've kept mute like everyone else, let me tell you, everyone will say, who did it? Nobody who knows. We have over more than how many players? 25 players on the squad, and you think it's just 2 people? Come on, man. There's a whole lot of people have access to this information. It could be anybody. Right now, I don't even trust anybody. It could be anybody, and it might not be intentional, but it got out of hand. Because one thing you know is, please don't tell anyone. Automatically know it's gonna give another person. Don't tell anyone. Everybody knows it, and they won't tell anyone.
You know, I think someone forwarded that because remember Amorim said that it was in the WhatsApp. Everyone's on WhatsApp, innit? And he messages them. Someone just pressed that forward button. I just said, they just pressed that forward button and said, "Oh, look at this guy trying to take me out the team." Literally, and then all of a sudden it's just leaked, and then like someone's got hold of it and said, "Raw, them man are out of the team." So, yeah, let me try to make some money out of this, innit? Leak it to the press. Like,
and it happens to be Samuel Lockhurst to be the one that first releases the news.
He probably paid someone, innit? Said, pay me, give me some good info.
Yeah,
that's hot news for him, innit? That's like, I'm the man. I've got like some proper smoke information, like literally.
Yeah. I guess what he also posted that there's a leak in the
literally. Samuel Lucas, he's trying to make head. You know when you're trying to make your name like that.
He's just upset that he got kicked out and banned from the from the press conference. And he's trying to sabotage the club now. He's been on club sabotage Manchester United with his negative news towards Manchester United. He loves it. You know, any negative news he'll throw it out there just to get back at Manchester United. I don't know what's happened between him and the club. But the reason I keep on saying is between those two, because those are the 2 players that got left out the club. I mean, left out the squad. And in the morning, and what I'm hearing and what I'm read is that he basically told them in the morning at the coach that you men ain't coming on. Mm-hmm. You guys are not coming on. I see you guys trained in the morning and all that stuff, but you're not jumping on this coach. Yeah, you're not coming to the other side with us. You're not on the other side of Manchester. You're gonna stay home. You're going home. So that's how I think. In that kind of manner of like telling them in that morning where everyone's jumping on the team bus to go and travel to the other side, he's told them, yeah, you're not coming on.
Yeah, you see the same that said, what will it benefit them to leak the same squad? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can't put your own team in jeopardy. Nobody does that, especially if you're a struggling team. No one ever does that. This is not a leak. Rather, I see it as an honest an unintentional leak. Let me put it that way. Unintentional leak. Because none of the players have anything to benefit from it. None. No one has anything to benefit from it. Even if it's Rashford, they don't get to benefit from it because if the team loses, you're playing. You're already below par. So leaking is not going to make you play more. It's not going to give you chances to play. He has no any benefit leaking the information. So this can just be an honest mistake. Someone have access to the information, except to keep quiet. He sent out to his friend. His friend had got it, sold it out to someone, or even just carelessly. Something you post on your WhatsApp status, and your friends saw it, took it out from there. Imagine if you're privy to actually be able to be seeing the brothers' WhatsApp status of that. It can happen, and it takes it from there. So it might not be an actual leak to having the information. It might be just a leak to tell you, look at the squad you're about to play next. Remember, before they changed it to like, is it 1 hour? To be given like 2 hours now, as a 1 hour to be given us the lineup.
Yeah, 1 hour before kickoff.
Yeah, 1 hour before kickoff. Before it wasn't. So it's like okay, it's like we got this one a little bit earlier. Come on. To be honest, it's not something we should have a fuse about. I believe the essence of all this is just to instill more of integrity, more of a team spirit and oneness. But it's nothing for them to.
I just think it's a bit. Yeah, who mistakenly leaked it or deliberately leaked it is still unprofessional, to be honest, because
exactly
it was what is it leaked like a full day before kickoff, so that's basically giving City an unfair advantage.
Yeah,
they basically looked at that team and said, right, he's going to be playing in this position. How are we going to nullify his threat and stuff like that? So it kind of put us on the back foot already before kickoff.
Exactly.
So whoever was careless with that, they need to answer for that if they find out who it is. Now,
there are much people involved.
We all make mistakes, but some serious mistakes, people lose their jobs over serious mistakes. So
it's going to be difficult because what Ruben says is going to be difficult because of the number of people involved. So I don't think it's just about those 11 or 2. There's a whole lot of people have access to this information. So even though you're trying to pick out just Onirashi or Garnacho because there seems to be an obvious suspect, that does not leave out all the other people who have access to those information. The truth is that everyone is a suspect, and there is no how that they can prove that those people are not suspect. Not because you didn't share it, you know it. You can still tell it to someone. So everybody's a suspect in this case. So how can they be able to investigate and know who leaks it, whereby you don't know who they talk to? So even though you're trying to put it around only 2 people, how would you know that any player, let me not call it name, because if I call it name now, it's as if I'm actually putting the person on the box. Any player now didn't tell the brother, or didn't tell a friend, or didn't tell the family member, and the family member post it on the status or said it loud in the pub, or anything can happen. There's some way you can actually get information carelessly and turn out to be true. So this is not an issue of just 2 people. It's about, I believe this is high time we need to know how to curb down access. Let it be on need to know basis. I remember those times you need to be seeing the lineup only when you sit up there, they know, they picked you. I don't think maybe right now they need to maybe few hours, let them train as if everybody's going to play on the game. Let them plan as if everybody's going to play on the game. Few minutes with the game will find you, so what you're going to do, you know it. I remember those days, you wouldn't know until the day of the match, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's always been the case. Remember when Ronaldo would be like, okay, I'm not in the squad. That was the issue we were saying. You need to be telling Ronaldo he's not going to be in the squad in time. That's how you do all big players. You tell them, Giggs, sit this one out. You're going to sit this one out. I need guys. But you don't expect Ronaldo to be seeing that his name is on the list like every other person. He's disrespectful. That's what he was actually saying there. Because then let's go back to that era. You publish it on need to know basis. I don't need to. Why would I need to tell Ahmad 24 hours the time that he's going to play? Why do I need to do that? No. You go on. Yes, is it. Is how it's supposed to be. You come in, oh, right, okay, okay, I'm in the game. Fine, let's go in. That way, the time you reduce, it actually gets out because can even go out and make a call. It can happen, but it reduces the way before it gets out. But giving them this squad 24 hours, why would you give them the list even 24 hours before the time? No, let's be honest.
That's the manager's fault for doing that. I'm just going to stop you right there, Uche, as we're going to move on as we're coming close to the end of the show as well.
Wow,
yeah. We're gonna skip the Harry Maguire debate because of course we all probably in the same opinion of when it comes to Harry Maguire's contract situation. We just want to see the back of him. You know, he's confident. He said just give you a little brief. He's positive. There's been talks about his contract. But I don't really believe him. And he's just trying to. It's Maguire himself. He's
Maguire's probably trying to do.
He'll fight for his position.
He's gonna, what he's gonna do? He's gonna say, "You could cut my wages in half, and I'll still stay."
That guy is fighting to stay.
He doesn't want to leave.
He doesn't. I love it.
Club.
You will have to drag him out of that Carrington. Literally, get the police.
Truth be told, if we wanted him out, we could have sold him. But the only thing I didn't like about last time contract, why do we want him to cut his wages? He's agreed to go to West Ham, pay him up, and let him go. You understand? If you can, that's it. Pay him up the remaining contract. We still don't want him to know.
Yeah,
if it's you, I wouldn't do that.
I'm with you, Che. I'm with you. I will terminate his contract. Ozzy Gunnar says Maguire must stay as well, and the world needs Maguire. No, we don't. Arsenal needs Maguire. Just to round it up, guys, to get your final thoughts, of course, Manchester United are playing Tottenham midweek in the Carabao Cup. Thoughts on that game, and also your final thoughts in general before we end the show. First of all, my final thoughts and my thoughts towards that game, Tottenham. It's a good time to go and play Tottenham. I never thought Tottenham was that bad until I looked at the table and thought, oh, you're in the same situation as us. This time I thought you was ahead of us in life. But no, they're not. So, but even though last time we played Tottenham, they did spank us, you know, under, I think
that was an annihilation.
Yeah, but I think it's time to get revenge as well. We need to get revenge. So I'm hoping Manchester United can go to White Hart Lane, give them a surprise, and knock them out the Carabao Cup. And final thoughts, happy Manchester United. We're taking it slow. All Man United fans, you enjoy it right now. We've got that win, but there's so much to work on. And we just have to just take it game by game. I'm not going to get too carried away. I hope that Marcus Rashford, if you're listening to me, you can improve yourself. Again, the manager said, this doesn't mean that you're out of the squad. Like this week is a new week. You know, it starts all over again. Men in Black settings with the flash, things start all over again. So I hope you take this into consideration and fix up for this week, because it must have hurt you taking a picture at the end of the night when we won the game and said, "Good, nice win, lads." I know it was a PR start.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was really and truly. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Maguire as well. You're not going to stay. That's all. But fantastic performance. When we need you, we want you to perform. But Manchester United fan, that's what it is, what it is, man. Take it one game at a time. Jerome, final thoughts and also your thought on the Tottenham game.
Final thoughts on the Tottenham game. I think it's going to be a tough game because Tottenham are up and down in terms of consistency, but when they play well, they play well. I saw they destroyed Southampton the other day. They literally destroyed them so badly that they just sat the manager on the spot. So hopefully we don't get that, Tottenham. Hopefully we get the one that got beat by Ipswich. So they're up and down in it, but they'll be going into the game on the high. So will we, because we obviously won at City. So it's going to be an entertaining game. And whether we win or lose, because it's the knockouts, I'm not really too bothered, to be honest, because it's the Carabao Cup. We won that 2 years ago. So it's one of the ones where if we go out of the Carabao Cup, then it gives us more time to work on things in training. Because at the moment, Amorim's come in mid-season and it's just been that just constant, just game after game going into Europe. So he'll have more time on the training ground to instill his methods to the players. So apart from that, whether we get to the next stage or not, I'm just happy that, you can kind of see negatives and positives of going through. But obviously, going forward, I'm getting a bit more optimistic now because I can see that Amorim is working on something. The majority of the players are buying into it. It's just all about getting better quality players to implement it. So hopefully we can get a couple of additions, even if it's loan additions in January, just to give us that boost, especially in the left area and also up front. Then hopefully it should be a good progressive end to the season. Obviously, we're not expected to be winning titles and stuff, but hopefully we could try and push for the top 4, even though I don't think we'll get it. Hopefully get that top 6 and get to the Europa League final and then, take it from there, really.
Yes, big up to Jerome as well with his final thoughts there. As you're going to say, there's goals in the game between you lads and Spurs. Well, hopefully there is, and it'll be on our side. Uche, over to you. Final thoughts, and of course, your thoughts on the Spurs game.
Okay, yeah. I'll just say on what Ruben actually done to the team. He has really improved the team, and taking the risk dropping Rashford and Garnacho shows that he is in charge. Yeah, this is something that we'll find that Ethan Hag couldn't do. Yeah, when you see players like that that's not performing, you keep him aside. And if what's slowly how he has been doing in his changes, if you anytime even while you're playing, if you underperform, he takes you out. He doesn't care. He takes you out. Even if you are Bruno Fernandes, he takes you out. But these are the people that no matter how terrible they are in the game, they sees it's true. No matter how terrible Rashford is, he says the lineup. This is the time so that if you're not performing, you're not getting the shirt. And it's time for the team, everybody to fight for a position in the team so that it's still not good that at this point in time that we don't have a starting 11, and that is something that we need to build on. I know it's based on information. We're trying to adapt to the position of how to play along and move forward, but we need that fast. Left for me, we still have the Garnacho, Hoyland, you have Ahmed, you have Bruno in the middle, then you have Ugarte, you have Diallo, you have Mazurawi, you have Maguire, even Maguire, or you have the lead or with Martinez. I don't have any issue with the back line, but this is what you see. Have a face, build around it. The truth is that you can never pick form from the bench. Nobody does that. You can only be consistent when you have the time to play. And that is what I think he needs to do now. Build around the players like Ahmad. Build the games. When I say build around the player like Ahmad, not that he needs to be scoring every single time. He needs to play also as a team because I don't want that to happen. I know why I'm emphasizing on all this because I see it happen time and time and time again. And as for the Tottenham game, to be honest, that's going to be it should be a walk in the park because we have in Tottenham a squad that have played out of 5 games have only won 1 game, lost twice, drew twice. So these are people actually trying to come back with their feet with a good win. That last game is a good boost, but that doesn't make them to be undertakers. We still can actually take them, and it's all about the team spirit. We have now two wins in a row, and going against Tottenham, we should be able to win them. It should be an easy win for us, yes, because I believe we have what it takes if we still play as a team. Because things like this, dropping people out of the team, casually putting some a little bit grumbling in the team. So he also needs to put the team in order because the one thing that we lacked last time is having a one voice in the back room. It's good to see Ahmed and Onana dancing. It's been a long time we saw those wonderful vibes in the dressing room. It's been a long time. So we need the team to be in sync together for us to provide something wonderful. So for me, it's going to be a straight win for us against the Spurs. And if only we stay focused, because I know Spurs have a way of dealing with us, and we won't even believe it. But it's going to be even easy a walk in the park. That's the word I'm going to use. It's going to be a walk in the park for us.
Walk in the park.
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so too.
Because the way they spanked us at Old Trafford, their debts need to be paid, man. As Vegeta said in Dragon Ball Z.
And let's hope that their debts is being paid, man. Big up to everyone that's tuned in today. This has been the catch up. Okay, we're back next week, Monday, 8 p.m. to discuss the next game. Hopefully, we beat Bournemouth and we rise onto the page 1 of the Premier League next week when we regroup. Big up to everyone as well. Make sure you smash that like button, share across all social media platforms, follow everyone on their social media platforms, subscribe. Become a member of Red United TV by clicking on the membership button and support the channel. Till next time, as I said before, and I always say, remember to keep it united, and most importantly, remember to keep it Red United. Till next time, peace, love. We'll see you next week.
All right.
Peace.